Is cloud gaming enough for you? Today I want to bring up a discussion topic that's been on my mind for quite some time, and that's simply the question of whether or not your gaming needs are satisfied by the cloud gaming space as a whole. You see, this month was huge for me in terms of gaming. In fact, it may be the biggest month of the year. 4 highly anticipated titles that I was really looking forward to all launched this month. I'm talking about Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, and Elden Ring. Out of those 4, only one was available on the cloud through GeForce Now, and that was Dying Light 2. Thus, most of my gaming this month was spent on local hardware. Oh, and to toss another game in that caught me off guard and I spent a lot of time playing, let's also throw Lost Ark into the mix. And let me just make something clear here. I run a cloud gaming focused channel for a reason. It's because I love cloud gaming. I genuinely love the benefits it brings, and I would prefer to play my games on the cloud. But I don't love it more than I love gaming itself, and simply put, I'm not going to change my gaming habits to fit around the cloud gaming space. And I know that some people out there feel like local gaming just isn't worth their time anymore due to downloads and updates just taking too long, but personally speaking, I've never had an issue with them. Every single game I'm talking about here allowed preloads. I was easily able to download the game, patch it, and enjoy it as soon as it launched on day one. It's nice not having to do these things, but frankly speaking, it takes a minute and I don't see it as big of a deal as some others do out there. What I'm trying to get at here is that this is what it took to get me off the cloud gaming space. I have been gaming on the cloud for quite some time primarily, but other than Dying Light 2, none of the other games I was interested in this month were available on any other service. And just to make it clear here, this isn't a slight toward any one cloud gaming service or platform. It's about having a discussion that involves all of them, because when they're all taken into consideration, even with that, they're not covering all the major releases of the year. So what I want to ask you, to those who are watching this video up until this point, is what game would be required to get you off the cloud and playing somewhere locally? Or if you find yourself not being able to relate to this question or reasoning, let me know your thoughts down below as well. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about future releases. As we know, FIFA and Madden are huge games. And in terms of availability on the cloud, they can only be played through Google Stadia or the older Madden through Xbox game streaming. At this point in time, we're not sure if the new FIFA and Madden are going to be launching on Stadia. While it's expected, it's not given considering the deal with Stadia was only for 5 games, and those 5 titles have now been released. That's not to say that EA won't be bringing any more games over, but if they do, it's on their own accord, or in a new deal with Google privately that hasn't just been publicly announced like the last one was. But for the sake of this argument, let's just pretend that it's confirmed not to show. Would that get you off of Stadia? And more importantly, would that get you going back to playing locally? FIFA happens to be one of those huge heavy-hitting titles that people actually go out of their way to buy every single year. I know multiple friends and family members who go out of their way to strictly buy a console just to play FIFA and Call of Duty on a yearly basis. And then there's the discussion to be had about Amazon and PlayStation not having their own games available on their cloud services. It still blows my mind to this day that New World and Lost Ark didn't launch on Amazon Luna when they were making a huge splash in the gaming industry. It just seems like such an easy win, and I have no doubt that a lot of people would be checking out Amazon Luna just to play Lost Ark. That game is currently sitting at 800,000 players on the Steam charts. That makes it enough to be the #1 game on Steam being played right now. And then there's Sony. While we know that PlayStation Spartacus is supposed to be revamping the whole PlayStation Now subscription model, there is no guarantee that PS5 games will be streaming through the cloud anytime soon. If anything, rumors are pointing that that sort of functionality may be coming at a later date. And they just released 2 fantastic exclusives that have the gaming community abuzz of just how good they are. And I'm talking about Horizon Forbidden West and Gran Turismo 7. I've already had people asking me if there's a way to play them on the cloud, and sadly, while PlayStation Now exists, it doesn't support new titles day and date. Likewise, there's no way of actually just buying outright a game and then being able to stream it through the cloud. And there's no doubt that there are other PlayStation exclusives that people would love to enjoy but just simply can't because they don't have the hardware required. Putting those games on the cloud, whether as a part of a subscription or to be purchased outright, would be a good way to get people into your ecosystem. But lastly, I want to talk a bit about the viewers on this channel, because more and more I'm starting to see some comments about people who watch my videos but have moved on to consoles. And I have no issue with that. If anything, thanks for continuing to watch the videos and supporting the channel. But I've always been a huge advocate of just gaming wherever you want to game. From the very start, I have not changed my tune one bit. I still game on my local PC, I still game on my local consoles, but if ever possible, I will choose the cloud option if it exists. And I honestly think a lot of people are in a similar situation. They love cloud gaming and the benefits that it brings, the convenience, and being able to take the game wherever you go. But until it's a viable option to cover the major releases throughout the year, I don't think it's going to be fully adopted or replacing any sort of local hardware in the near future. A game like Elden Ring doesn't come by every so often. It's one of the rare releases that really manages to take the whole gaming industry by storm. Be it good or bad, it has players, developers, and publishers all discussing it. Unsurprisingly, it's been trending over and over again on the Twitter sphere, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it winning Game of the Year. It also happens to be a title that's not available anywhere on major cloud gaming services or platforms. And missing out on a game like this on launch really does suck, because a game like Elden Ring is all about discoverability, much like it was with Breath of the Wild. And when everyone's talking about this new crazy thing they just found, you can't help but feel just slightly left out. And look, this video isn't meant to discourage you from cloud gaming. Frankly speaking, there are still a lot of great games available on all these cloud gaming services that are totally worth playing. And for some people, cloud gaming may be the only option when it comes to accessing new AAA releases. And I genuinely do think that down the road, cloud gaming will be able to encompass the vast majority of big releases. But I did want to bring this discussion up as someone who doesn't just love cloud gaming, but gaming as a hobby overall. I know this video has been a bit of a rant and a little bit all over the place, but I wanted to get these thoughts out there, and I hope you share yours down below. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. As always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.